Hey there, everybody. It's Phil here from Mobile Nations, AndroidCentral.com, Connectedly.com, iMore, and all of our fair sites. We are here in Gogo's headquarters outside Chicago, Illinois, where we've spent the entire day learning about how Wi-Fi works. Now, you might have a few complaints about getting online in an airplane. It's not fast. Well, let me tell you this. It's not easy, but they're working really hard to make it faster, and it's going to get faster. And let's just go take a look and see how they're doing it. Now, when it comes to getting internet onto an airplane, you get a couple ways of doing it. The one we're all used to is called A2G or ATG4, and that gets you up to 10 megabits per second to the entire plane. Satellites are involved over water, but Gogo's next generation product, GTO, is going to use that in conjunction with a terrestrial system. And a further iteration is going to actually use 2 satellite signals to speed it up even more. That's called 2KU, and here's what it means. So we're here with Anand Chari, CTO of Gogo. Now, you have thrown so many acronyms, not just you, everybody, I'm not just blaming you, so many acronyms, so many satellites, all these terms I've never heard of before. Can we talk for a second about what all this new stuff, what 2KU, what GTO, what does it mean for an end consumer, my butt in the seat, what does that mean for me?
Well, what it means is when you're in a plane, now that we brought connectivity to the skies, more and more passengers want to use the internet. And more passengers want to use the internet in the way they use it on the ground. They want access to all the applications. So this creates enormous demand, and if this demand has to be satisfied so you have a good user experience, you need all these technologies. But at the end of the day, the passenger on the seat doesn't care about what technology it is. He or she doesn't care about what antenna is on the plane, and we don't expect them to care about it. This is all the infrastructure. We are a communication service provider. You don't care about what technology AT&T is running, how many cell sites they have, what magic they do at their data centers or anything like that. And it's the same way. We are offering the details because we want the media, we want the analysts to know about it. But the end passenger, all they care about is they want a good internet experience.
I'm going to have to be patient, right? I'm not going to get this stuff tomorrow. I'm not going to get it next week, not even next month.
That's correct. Well, you have something today. So this is an evolution, just like you had 2G, 3G, 4G on the ground, and it took some time. I mean, iPhone came out with the first version had 2G. It took them a year to introduce the 3G. It took them 2 years to do 4. It took them 2 more years to do 5. So this is a evolution process, and we are just going through it. But today you do have connectivity, and we are doing our best to improve that with ATG4. That's available today as well. But it is true, some of these newer technologies, you do have to wait a year or 2 before it's available on many planes.
And there's so much more that goes into this as well. Gogo has to be FAA certified to be able to retrofit the planes in the first place, and there's this whole warehouse right next to O'Hare Airport in Chicago to be able to do that as timely as possible. Now, as far as us using devices in the seats, well, so we've learned a lot about the theoretical way of all this airborne Wi-Fi works, and frankly, it's literally and figuratively over my head. Let's get down to what I actually use in phones and devices. We're here with Tony Lamarck from Gogo, and Tony, you're going to walk us through this?
Absolutely. What we've got is a way that allows consumers to be able to connect to their people, their friends, their contacts on the ground using their real phone number without having to be on a cellular radio frequency.
And using the Gogo app to do it.
Correct. You download an app from Gogo, and that application gets a little bit of information about your phone, your presence, or your identity in the cellular world. It stores that information, it's fully encrypted, and what happens is when you're up in the air, rather than using cellular radio frequencies to be able to contact the rest of the cellular world, we're doing it over Wi-Fi, and we're telling the cellular world where you are. So what happens is the phone actually reaches out through our data network, says to the person's home wireless carrier, I'm roaming on the Gogo network. And when you're roaming on the Gogo network, please, anything that comes in for that customer, send it through to me. So text messages, phone calls, theoretically. In the United States, we know that we're not doing anything with regard to voice calls, but internationally, there's a lot of call for people who want to be able to make and receive phone calls. The customer doesn't have to worry about, is the person on Skype, is the person using WhatsApp? It's their real phone number, and if someone from the ground wants to get a hold of you, they just send you a text, and it works.
So we've got antennas talking to satellites in the sky. We've got repair facilities making sure all the pieces are coming together to be fixed or to go out in the first place. And finally, we have more than 700 people making all this happen. Here's the CEO to explain. So we've had an excellent day here at Gogo, and there's probably no better way to finish it off than with Michael Small. You run this place. This is your show. This is your place. Thank you for having us.
It's wonderful. It's a great place to work, and we're doing exciting things for the aviation industry.
So you and I were just talking about Bensonville, which is, I would say that's where all the real work goes. These are the guys who are putting the kits together to go out to the planes, to go out to the airlines. Can you talk to me a little more about that and just the hardworking men and women who really make this company run?
Yeah, it's an amazingly complex business, and you're highlighting one very complex part of it. There's thousands of pieces that it takes to install internet on a plane. We try to get it done overnight. There better be every part in the box. And furthermore, the government, the FAA and the airlines want to know where every piece came from. So there's a very clear trail of documentation on where that all happened.
Very much almost a chain of evidence, like you'd see in a court case. The other really cool thing we got to see was the customer service, and we got to see how that works. The live chat when you're on a plane and you're having issues, or you just need a little help, and how seamless and smooth that really was.
Yeah, it's been remarkable how much progress we've made there. We can really tell what's happening on the plane. We know what that customer who's chatting with us is doing. We get to compare it to what everybody else is doing on the plane. We get to look at the other planes in the area, what's happening on the ground. So we really do get to see it all and get to fix problems really fast, which is helpful to the customer, but it's also tremendously helpful to us that we get to see what's going on the plane in a very real way so we can make systematic improvements to our service.
Well, thank you for kind of tying it all together and showing us just this incredible operation. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, glad you could join us today.
So that's it for us here in Itasca, Illinois, just outside Chicago from Gogo's headquarters. I know I learned a lot about how Wi-Fi works on airplanes. I think I'm going to appreciate a little more and complain a little less. Hope you've had a good time learning about this with us. For all the mobile nations, we'll see you later.